Hello coaster lovers. So if you think of old school manufacturers, there are a few that pop up to your mind, such as Schwarzkopf, Philadelphia Toboggan Coasters, aka PTC, and the Din Corporation. But today I'm going to talk about probably the most famous defunct roller coaster manufacturer, Aerodynamics. Aero started their company in 1945, but sadly in the year of 2002, they went defunct. It's because of their biggest monstrosity in their history, X2 at Six Flags Magic Mountain. In my opinion, Aero can be a hit or miss. There's a ride out there that they manufacture that's actually really good, and there's one out there that is just plain hot garbage. From my experience, I've ridden 7 roller coasters that are manufactured by Aerodynamics, and it will be 7 for a long time. So here are all the Aerodynamics roller coasters I've ridden, ranked. Welcome to King's Coasters. If you're new here and have ridden at least 5 Aeros, King's Coasters will be the channel for you, and consider to subscribe to support the channel. It helps us. So let's begin the list by going to Cedar Point. This coaster I will gladly never do ever again. It's pointless. I'm talking about Cedar Creek Mine Ride. This is definitely my least favorite roller coaster that is built by this company. And these are 2 mine trains that you'll see on this list. From my experience, I hate this thing. It's stupid. First and foremost, it's a mine train, so it's supposed to be pretty shaky. And 2, this coaster is so dang boring. It's not as janky as the Vekoma mine trains. A great example is Big Thunder Mountain at the Disney parks. I've done the one at Magic Kingdom, and it's actually really fun. But it was the exact opposite for Cedar Creek Mine Ride, and the layout is awful. The only good thing about this ride is the presentation. The train for the ride in the wooden shed is pretty cool, but that's about it for the positive that this ride has in my vision. Going to another park in Ohio, so I was talking about 2 mine train coasters earlier. The next coaster is also a mine train. It's Adventure Express. Like I said earlier, this is the second mine train coaster on this list, and I don't really like it. It's because of 2 things, and the roughness is not one of them. All the Aero coasters in this video have a bit of a shake to it. It's the transitions, and weirdly, the smell of the ride. Why I put the smell of the ride in one of the cons is because it smells like zesty toast. It smells disgusting, especially on the second lift hill. And speaking of that, that is the biggest troll I've seen on a roller coaster. It looks like there's going to be a huge drop. But nope, it's a turn into the brakes. It's a real buzzkill. I was disappointed when I rode it for the first time because I expected a big drop. The good thing about this ride is the theming. I was talking about the second lift earlier. I like the big statues on your sides. And speaking of theming, this ride got updated this year in 2023, but I haven't ridden this coaster since the year of 2021. I'll probably never ride it ever again, but you can do it if you want the credit. The next coaster on the list is just like Adventure Express, and we're going back to Cedar Point. You can ride this ride to get the credit. It's Iron Dragon. This is the first suspended coaster that you'll see on this list, and it's just like an inverted version of Cedar Creek Mine Ride. This ride is split into 2 halves, and the first half is just an inverted monorail. The only saving grace is that you get great views of Rougarou and Top Thrill 2. The second half is much better. If you ride this coaster in 2024, you'll get a fantastic view of the spike on Top Thrill 2. And the double helix over the water is nice, but it doesn't do much. If this ride would be getting removed, I'll be fine. I wouldn't really miss this ride. So staying in the same park, this coaster is revolutionary for the history of roller coasters. And nope, it's not Magnum. It's actually Gemini. I've only done the red side for this coaster, so that means I've never done the blue side yet. But I think this ride is fine. It was actually a bit scarier than I expected. This is also one of the roller coasters that I need a re-ride on, because I have not seen the full potential for this coaster. I thought the drop was good, and the ending helix is fun, but really janky. This is middle of the pack for me, and would I do this again? Absolutely. I will definitely try out this coaster again, but on the blue side. And here's a fun fact. This is actually my 25th coaster credit. It was originally going to be Steel Vengeance, but I counted Surf Dog as a coaster at the time. So a few days after my visit, Steel Vengeance became credit number 24, so that made Gemini number 25. The next coaster on the list is just like Gemini. It was so revolutionary for the theme park world, and it is Magnum XL 200. I started to appreciate this coaster as of recently. It's because this was the first ever hypercoaster in the world and was made by hand. That's actually crazy to think about, and the location is beautiful. It splits Cedar Point shores into 2, and it gives great views of the water park, Lake Erie, and the park itself. I thought the first drop was fun, but the profiling was not that great. The profiling into the first tunnel is really janky, and also the profiling into the turnaround is jarring. But you cannot talk about Magnum without mentioning the last run of Airtime Hills. I was nearly stable when I rode, so that means the airtime was painful. So just like Gemini, I need to rewrite on this coaster because I've also not seen the full potential, so I'll probably try it again in the Magic Seat when I visit Cedar Point again. So going back to Kings Island, this coaster is a hidden gem in the theme park world. It is the Bat. This is the second and last suspended coaster on this list, and this coaster is great. The ride's pacing is really fast, but it's not as fast as its clone, Vortex like Canada's Wonderland, but I still really enjoy this coaster. This is definitely a back row ride. You get pulled in every which direction, especially on the drop. You get dragged down it like a dang sack of potatoes. The layout is good as well. It has a lot of snappy turns, and the swing aspect is great. I also love the placement. If you look to your side while riding this coaster, it feels faster. This used to be my favorite arrow, but it was dethroned by Tennessee Tornado. This is definitely my favorite arrow, because this coaster is phenomenal. The first drop is wild, and the three inversions have force, both negative and positive. My only con is that this ride is kinda short. It feels long, but I think it's short because of the budget. I got to ride this coaster 3 times when I went to Dollywood. That's how much I love this coaster, and I will definitely marathon it if it has no line. I love this coaster, and I might do a review on it soon. I will absolutely do it again and again. So I want to hear from you guys, what's your favorite aero coaster? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and it will be a blessing if you subscribe to the channel. I cannot believe that we're literally halfway to 300 subscribers. I feel like we hit 50 subscribers yesterday. We're going to hit it in no time. You can also post your favorite aero in the comments below, but this channel absolutely does not accept criticism or hate. If you like this video, don't worry, here's another video for you. So make sure to keep that adrenaline pumping, and thank you for watching.